Jesus is being warned by the Pharisees about Herod, because Herod means to kill him. As if Herod is the enemy, the Pharisees mean to kill him. Herod probably also meant to kill him. They are the human enemies of Jesus. But really, they're not the real enemy of Jesus. They are people who have been deceived, misled as to whom Jesus really is, as to whom God really is. The real enemy is what St. Paul is talking about. Whom St. Paul is talking about? St. Paul speaks about our real enemies. Because we have to resist the devil's tactics. For it is not against human enemies, Herod and Pharisees, or whoever might be the ones who seem to be our enemies here and now as we're living. It is not against human enemies that we have to struggle, but against the sovereignties and powers that originate the darkness of this world, the spiritual army of evil in the heavens. The sovereignties and powers, these are choirs of angels, and they'll be demonic angels, because demons are fallen angels. And so, folks, Satan is real. He exists. Demons are real. They exist. These are the powers with which we are engaged in combat. And so it doesn't matter who you are. There is a war going on at the moment. In fact, it has been going on since the beginning of time. And the war is between good and evil, between God and his angels and Satan and his demons. And you and I are participants. And I'm looking at all of you, because none of us, whether a child or adult, is an innocent bystander. None of us are just viewing it like we're watching TV. Every single one of you, including myself, Deacon Tony, Quinn and Ang, we are participants in that war. And so it's important for us, for you and for I, to realize, to recognize the fact that there is a war going on, and we have to act accordingly. We cannot walk out into a battlefield pretending that there's nobody with guns and there's no explosions going on. If we do that, we die. We suffer and we die. That's the reality. And it's the same with this life, with the enemy who is seeking to destroy you. He's seeking to destroy your family. He's seeking to destroy your relations. He's certainly seeking to destroy the church, which is trying to hold all of these things together. And so St. Paul, who has experience of this, is not only warning us so that we're ready, but he's giving us the tools to be able to fight back against the enemy. He talks about armor and weapons. So we have armor to defend ourselves, and we have weapons with which to attack back, to counter the enemy, to have a go at him. So we are not defenseless, and we're not weak and incapable. In fact, it is the complete opposite. You and I might think we're defenseless. We think, oh, the devil, he's a fallen angel. He's got all this power. But folks, you have power. Put on the armor of God, St. Paul says. What is the armor of God? What is it that we're supposed to put on? It is Jesus Christ. It is him. He is God. He is the Word of God. And we're to use the Word of God as a sword to attack the enemy. And Jesus is God. You have at your disposal God's infinite power. Infinite. Satan is finite, which means he's limited, which means in comparison to God, if I could look down and find, here we go. It's a little piece of dirt on the carpet. So that is Satan. I mean, you can't see this, I can see this, but really, compared to God, that's too big. Satan is, he's even small. He couldn't be seen. Such is the power at your disposal. You are not to be afraid. You are not to be afraid. But you are to arm yourselves. You are to defend yourselves. You are to counterattack. St. Paul speaks about putting on, he says, stand your ground. Don't be afraid. Don't run away from him because you have power. He doesn't. With truth buckled round your waist. Truth. Boy, that's essential, folks. Truth. We need truth. You and I need truth around our waist, buckled around our waist, because Satan is a deceiver and a liar. He lies to us, he deceives us, he puts things in our heads which are not true. He deceives us about who God is, who you and I are. God isn't really love. God is an angry God. God is a vengeful God. God is not love. This is all a lie. You are not love. He's deceiving you about who you are. You are not loved. You are not wanted. You are bad. You are this. You are that. Lies, lies, lies. And so we're to hold on to the truth. The church doesn't speak the truth, surely. The church teaches this which is wrong, or teaches that which is wrong. And if we listen to the enemy and whoever else he has deceived, we will follow where his voice leads. We will be deceived as well. The media is deceiving people all the time about the church, deceiving people all the time about who God is, about who you are. And we cannot listen to that. At the moment, people are, there's this thing that's come out with Pope Francis to do with marriage. And the people who've produced it have taken what he said out of context. They've taken words he said in one part of an interview and put it together with another part, swapped it around because they wanted it to make it say what they wanted it to say. And so this is what Satan does. He takes bits of the truth, twists it, and turns it into a lie. And so the important thing for us when it comes to knowing our faith, and it's essential we do, because our faith tells us who God is, he is love. Who we are, sons and daughters, beloved, saved, brides of Christ. It tells us, the teaching of the church tells us who we are. And so we're to go to the teaching of the church, go to the catechism. If we hear stuff and we're thinking, not sure if that's so true or not, priests will get it wrong. Deacons will get it wrong. Bishops will get it wrong. Popes can get it wrong when they give their own opinion. And so we have to go to the teaching. What does the church say? What is the teaching of the church? What is the truth? Because that's where we'll find it. And once we know that, we can hold on to that truth. And although all the rest of the world is going left, right, and center and getting lost in a haze of deception, you and I can hold on to the truth. The truth that the church teaches, the truth, who is Jesus Christ. We don't just hold on to the truth, however. St. Paul tells us the other weapon we're to use, and that is prayer. Because and there's no way we can resist without God, without Jesus. He is our armor. He is the truth. He is our strength. He is our hope, our salvation, our peace. It is him. So folks, you are in a war. All of you are in a war. You are to do battle. Pray at all times. Hold on to the truth. Use the Word of God as a weapon daily to do combat. The Lord has won the victory. The victory has already been won. But each of us are to do our little part each day, fighting the enemy for my own sake, for the sake of my soul, for the sake of my family's soul, for the sake of my neighbor's soul, for the sake of the church, and for the world.